What is the most dangerous thing a man can do in service of his emperor? Betray him? No. The most dangerous thing is to make yourself indispensable. Because the moment your emperor realizes he cannot win without you, he begins to ask a different question. What happens if you decide to stop helping? Shi Wansui never betrayed the Sui Dynasty. He never plotted, never rebelled, never even complained. He just kept winning, and that was exactly what got him killed. He was born on the northern frontier, not a world of poetry and ceremony, a world of horses, blades, and survival. In such a place, a boy who was not strong simply did not last long. To understand his story, you need to know the world he was born into. Shi Wansui lived in the 6th century, the final decades of China's long age of division. For nearly 300 years, the land had been split between competing kingdoms. War was not an event. It was a condition. The frontier where he grew up had never known real peace. This was also the era of the Sui Dynasty's rise, the dynasty that would finally reunite China after centuries of fragmentation. An empire being built from scratch always needs two things: soldiers to conquer and generals willing to lead them. Shi Wansui would become one of those generals. The question was whether the empire would know what to do with him once the conquering was done. From a young age, Shi stood out. Tall, powerful, fierce. When others hesitated, he stepped forward. When others retreated, he held his ground. He was not known for elegant speeches, but he was known for winning. After joining the army, he rose quickly, not because of noble blood, not because someone protected him, but because he kept winning. Places others could not hold, he held. Enemies others feared, he defeated. Battles others avoided, he accepted. But this was not the first time he had been pushed to the edge. Years earlier, a superior officer had been convicted of a crime. Shi Wansui, who served under him, was punished along with him. Exiled to the frontier, most men would have disappeared quietly into that exile. Shi Wansui became a legend there instead. One day, a Tuje warrior rode out alone, challenging any Han soldier to single combat. No one moved, not because there were no brave men, but because the reputation of Tuje warriors had already defeated most of them in their minds. Shi Wansui rode out to meet him. No one ordered him to. No one encouraged him. He simply went. He won. A disgraced exile had done what the official commanders had not. This was not just a duel, it was a signal. This man was not like the others. The story spread faster than any official report. You cannot exile a man like this. You can only delay him. Eventually, he was recalled, given another command, given another chance to make the emperor uneasy. After the Sui Dynasty was founded, the emperor needed strong generals to stabilize the empire. Shi Wansui was promoted, trusted, and sent to the most dangerous fronts. His most famous campaign was in the southwest, a land of mountains and dense forest, the air heavy with disease. Local tribes who knew every path, every valley. Many commanders hesitated. Some suggested negotiation, others warned of disaster. When Shi Wansui received the order, he said one thing: "Give me the troops." He marched deep into the mountains, moving fast, striking hard, giving the enemy no time to breathe. The campaign was brutal. Soldiers exhausted, supplies scarce, terrain unforgiving. But Shi Wansui always rode at the front. He knew that if he stopped, morale would fall. If he stepped back, fear would spread, so he did not stop. When the fighting ended, local resistance collapsed. His name spread across the entire army. To soldiers, he was a war god. To the people, a protector. To the court, the sharpest sword in the empire. And that was the problem. A sword that is too sharp makes its owner uneasy. Picture him on the road back to the capital after his final northern campaign. His army had just defeated the Turks on the steppe. Thousands of enemy soldiers had surrendered. The frontier was secure. He rode at the front of the column the way he always had. Wind in his face, victory behind him. He probably thought about the emperor's reaction. A commendation, perhaps. A promotion. Maybe finally, a quiet posting closer to home. He had no way of knowing that the imperial order was already waiting for him, that by the time he reached the city gates, he was already a dead man. He stood in the throne room still wearing the dust of the northern campaign. Behind him, the report of victory. In front of him, the emperor's face. And beside the throne, Wansui. Wansui was everything. Shi Wansui was not. A court politician. Elegant, careful, patient. He had never led a charge, but he understood power in a way Shi Wansui never would. In the time it takes to read a single memorial, Wansui had whispered enough. The emperor's expression did not change. He simply nodded. Shi Wansui was arrested before he left the hall. He had walked in as the empire's greatest general. He was carried out as a criminal. The campaign had lasted months. His trial lasted minutes. Now bring this into the present. Think about the most capable person you have ever worked with. The one who always delivered, always solved the problem, always made the team look good. Did they always get the recognition they deserved? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And when they didn't, it was rarely because their work was poor. It was because somewhere along the way, they forgot that in any organization, there are two games being played at once. The official game, do good work, get rewarded. The unofficial game, make sure the people above you never feel threatened by how good you are. Shi Wansui only played the first game. He never knew the second one existed. But there is a deeper psychological mechanism at work here. Psychologists call it the ruler's dilemma. A leader needs capable people to build power. But the more capable those people become, the more threatening they are to the leader's own position. The rational solution is to trust them. But trust requires vulnerability. And vulnerability for someone who has fought their way to the top feels like suicide. So the leader eliminates the threat, not because the capable person did anything wrong, but because capability itself in the wrong context is a provocation. This was not unique to Imperial China. It has happened in every powerful institution in history. The Roman Senate feared Caesar not because he was evil, but because he was too good. The most dangerous person in any hierarchy is not the one who wants to destroy it. It is the one who no longer needs it. Shi Wansui didn't need the court's approval to be respected. His soldiers would have followed him anywhere. And that, more than anything, was what made him impossible to keep alive. Shi Wansui never learned to play the game of the court, not because he was stupid, but because he believed that doing the right thing would be enough. Win the battle, protect the frontier, serve the empire. What more could anyone ask? It turns out, quite a lot. In any system, ancient or modern, there are two kinds of competence. The competence to do the work, and the competence to manage how others perceive you doing it. Shi Wansui had the first in abundance. He had almost none of the second. And in a court, the second often matters more. Shi Wansui never made it into the history books the way emperors do. No dedicated chapter, no famous last words carved in stone, just a footnote. But footnotes sometimes contain the truest version of history because emperors tell us what power looked like. People like Shi Wansui tell us what power cost. This is perhaps the most uncomfortable lesson he leaves behind. Being right is not enough. Winning is not enough. Sometimes the most important skill is not the one that makes you indispensable. It is the one that makes the people above you feel safe. Shui's won every battle the empire gave him, but the battle he lost was the one he never understood he was fighting.